I've always wondered what a new generation polymer-framed striker-fired HK would look like. Anyone would be hard-pressed to say that HK doesn't make some of the meanest-looking polymer hammer-fired pistols on the planet. However, when I first saw the pictures of the VP9, I felt the same way I did when the iPhone 5 was introduced. Yeah, it looks a little different, and I'm excited, but I wanted something that looked a little more revolutionary. In pictures, I could obviously see the P30 inspiration, and that's not a bad thing because as far as I'm concerned, the P30 is easily one of the best looking polymer guns on the planet, second only to a Glock, after Colion Arms does their Tier 1 tactical voodoo to it. The VP9 came to me in a black case, with the two most polarizing red letters in the gun industry. When you open it, you feel like an assassin opening his work kit with custom foam cutouts for the second magazine, replaceable bag straps, and of course, the gun. My favorite part of the P30 were the Batman-like grips, and I was happy to see them on the VP9. At least I thought so, until I picked it up and had a closer look. This ain't exactly the P30 grip in its truest form. The P30 grip had a plush refinement to it. Each strand of texture almost looked like silk. If the P30 is 1080p, the VP9 is 720p, where each strand of texture is less refined and closer, but better than those on the PPQ. Here's the thing, the P30 grip looks better up close, but in hand, the VP9 takes it for feel. Maybe. There's a very prominent hump on the back of the VP9 grip, and then they further accentuated the ingress towards the top of the grip that I love, but can see how it might be a little much for some people. As far as the cocking indicator on the back, which signifies that this is a striker-fired gun, I'm a little torn. I like it from a practical is my gun cock purpose, but I think it cheapens the look ever so slightly because it makes it look like there's too much going on back there. Much like a really attractive girl who wears too much makeup and doesn't know how to put it on correctly. The sights are high quality 3-dot metal sights, but they're luminescent and not tritium. Luminescent sights annoy me because they glow so bright when you expose them to light, but for such a short period of time that you might as well not glow at all. One of the first things you notice about this gun are those little plastic tabs. They're there to give your hand something to hold on to for a split second while you rack the slide back to give you a better leverage. I'm almost certain there's a double entendre in that last line somewhere. Now, of course, the VP9 comes with the controversial paddle magazine release. They don't bother me, but a lot of people don't like them. But it does make the gun statically ambidextrous without having to move the drop button from one side to the other. Taking this gun down is child's play. No, seriously, just lock the slide back, pull the takedown tab down, and boom, you're done. You don't have to pull the trigger, but I do sometimes. And now for what everyone was waiting for, the trigger. I'll put it like this. This is easily, without question, in the top 3 best stock polymer striker-fired triggers on the market, hands down. Personally, I think it's number 1, but by a really slight margin. The Glock trigger has always had a creep that I didn't like. The VP9 has none of that. The VP9 isn't as smooth as the trigger on the Springfield XDs, but it does have a shorter uptake and is really smooth, just not as smooth as the Springfield, thus to me making it the better trigger. People have asked me, how does the VP9 compare in size to the Glock 19? Well, that's easy. It's bigger. Really no way around it. To some people, it's marginal. For people like me who wear their shirts too tight, it may be a problem depending on the shirt. Width-wise, they feel the same, and the tabs on the end of the VP9 make it look thicker, but it doesn't really feel that way. Each carry 15 rounds, and my holster for the P30 works, so you also have interchangeable magazines between the P30 and the VP9 as well. When it's all said and done, my thoughts on the HK VP9 are, well, you'll just have to wait and see. during my shooting review of the VP9, which will air on my new show, Noir, online on the NRA Freestyle Network every Sunday at 7 p.m. Central and 8 p.m. Eastern, and again at 9 p.m. Central and 10 p.m. Eastern. You can also watch it here on my channel every Monday.